There we go. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Today in the SF Artists Alumni Spotlight, we are talking to the artists from Ask an Artist who are in Greece, in a village in the mountains called Pramanta. And we are here with, first of all, Sophia Baltzoi, who is our local coordinator.
Hello.
Wave. Hi,
Hello.
Sophia. Hi.
Hello,
Um,
everyone.
Eleni Exarchou, who is the one that put all of this together. She's the person that whose original idea it was to have Ask an Artist, and we have done so much since then, and it's been amazing. We also have Claire Hanson Tom, wave to
Hello.
Cristina Velazquez,
Hey, everybody.
and Adrian Card.
Howdy.
Welcome, everyone. How's it going?
Great.
It's great.
Yeah,
You
great.
you had a fun week?
Yes. Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing week.
Well, we have some wonderful photos to show from the things you've done with the kids. And I'm excited to show everyone those. I got a little preview. They are really, really amazing projects that you did. It made me want to do it, and also obviously very jealous that I was not there with you. It looks like it's so much fun. And every background, when they swung the camera around, Maria's background, everything looks incredible. It looks so beautiful there. I'm just in awe of all of the work that you've done and where you're at. Let's start off. Eleni, how did it go this week?
What can I say? I really am overwhelmed. I really don't know what to say. Because as I was saying to Adrian just a few minutes ago, when you do something, you just think, oh, I should have done this that way, or that was wrong, or maybe next time we shouldn't do that. And there's nothing, right? There's nothing I can say that we did, we should have done it differently. And we are, first of all, very happy that we made it. That's a miracle.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. All the stars aligned. I don't know what happened, but we are here. And this week was really so full of love and a give and take that I really don't know what to say. The kids were so wonderful, and they did this amazing work that you all will see. But I think the point it was really that we worked together, and I really don't know how did that happen. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
it was a perfect week, is what you're saying.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
Very nice. And some of you I
And
know
the
have,
hospitality and everything.
okay. I know some of you teach children on a regular basis, teach adults and college students. For those of you that maybe weren't so used to that, how was that?
Adrian?
Um, I think we've all had experience teaching. I've been away from it longer than anybody, maybe, but it was great. I mean, my last experience was with at-risk youth, so this was a completely different thing. And these kids were fantastic. Um, they all were kind and generous and so receptive, and they were all so grateful for our presence here and for our input, what we could tell them. Um, it was phenomenal. It's really kind of ineffable. Um,
Sounds wonderful. And what were the age groups you worked with this past week?
12 to 17.
12 to 17. So that's in sort of kids' ages, that's a pretty big
That's a big
stretch.
stretch.
Yeah,
And
that's
you know what happened? Even because here we are in the mountains, it's wild. Kids are not like in the cities. They're different. They're so they're really wonderful kids, but they're not like the kids in the city. And they can go. They open the door, they go out, and they're in the mountains. It's not like. Uh, they have most of them. They have animals. They do other things. They help their families, and even the really tough guys, you know, the 17-year-old ones that are tough and they don't mess with art a lot and brushes, they were all, you know, melted and worked really, you know, like fully, and they didn't want it to stop doing this. So that was really great for us.
Yeah.
So they were all engaged the whole time.
They were.
Engaged.
That
There was
is
so much
that is rare.
synergy. Synergy is a strong word for, and there's a Greek word for synergy.
Synergy.
Energy.
Synergia.
Yeah,
Energy.
energy.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Cristina, you are someone who teaches this age group every day. How would
Yeah.
you say they were different than who you normally see? Or were they
Oh my
the
gosh.
same? Are kids
No.
the same or are they different?
They were very respectful, very kind, very appreciative. They were very playful. They got my jokes, so my jokes are now global and international. They get that I'm a girly girl. They love that. I noticed, and I kind of knew that this was going to be magical. And so I did notice that they were willing to play along, willing to practice some of the projects that we asked them to play with. And they engaged and they flew with the idea of being present in the moment and also playing at being artists and making art with us. By being behind them and just like tapping their shoulder and giving them just a little bit of a nudge and a little bit of reinforcement, because they have it in them. They have it in them. They understand color. They understand some of the basic concepts that we teach in classrooms, even though they don't have an art teacher. They haven't been taught art in a I think 2 to 3 years approximately. And so I'm so very grateful and happy that we did this together as a team, because we are a very solid team. And I've been holding my tears for days now. I'll stop you there.
Now's the time to let them out. Let them out on the live stream. We'll get good views. We'll get it in the documentary. Go ahead and cry. You got 5 minutes of uninterrupted crying. Ready, go.
I couldn't hold my tears today, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the farewell when
The
the
farewells.
kids said goodbye was very
Yeah.
Hug.
emotional.
Some of the kids wanted to hug
Mm-hmm.
4 or
Huge
5
hug.
times,
Yeah.
and their parents shake hands.
And some of them just
Yeah.
couldn't leave. So you could tell they just didn't
Yeah.
want to tear themselves away.
Yeah.
They didn't
That
want it
is-
to end. We didn't want it to end, but it's not going to end.
And the teachers were all
On board. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, very supportive as well. 150%. Yeah. The local artists, the mayor, the vice mayor. That some firefighters came to the exhibition. Firefighters there.
Yeah.
The families.
The doctor. The doctor.
The doctor.
Uh-huh.
The local hospital.
Yeah. Passed by to see the show.
Well,
Yeah.
it sounds like you had an audience a lot of the time. People were coming to check it out. You were the big draw in town. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
We're like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I
didn't think
The superstars.
Well, I know from being in one of the Zooms before and from doing these projects with other schools in the past that they are always so appreciative of the time, and they're respectful, especially in these places where maybe art isn't so readily available to them. So I'd like to know, Sophia, did you feel like the kids were seeing things they'd never seen before, heard things they'd never heard before? What were some of the reactions you witnessed with knowing these kids?
So yeah, what can I say for all this week really? I really enjoyed not only the result that you're going to see that it is really incredible, but I really enjoyed the creative process and the collaboration that they had with the artists. They were the best teachers for them, but I think that they were strictly connected each other with their teachers and with the other students that they work together in groups, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you know, your colleagues, the superstars, because these days in the village, the villagers told me, "Oh, come on, you have came here with real artists from US. Oh my God!" So they are the superstars in the village. Everyone wants to see them. They look exotic in their eyes.
Very
Oh,
exotic.
yeah.
Very much so.
So, yeah, I think that the children, they enjoyed really their communication.
Yeah.
Either a lot of the children, they couldn't speak English fluently, okay.
Some of
But,
them are.
yeah, but some of them
are.
very, very good English,
Very
of
fluent.
course. But it doesn't matter because I really understood that art is a universal language that we can connect each other. Your colleagues, the artists, they visited my house, and my grandmother, who is almost 99 years old. Yeah, almost a century. Okay. So she was like, oh my God, they were from US. Oh, what can I say? In my house? Oh my God, I cannot believe it. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Amazing.
so I think that we had a very, very important connection. All of us, we were a very, very good group, only with the eyes. It doesn't happen. Yeah, very good communication. So I feel really grateful and honored to be part of this group and of this project, of course. And Toban, let me share something with you now, because a student told me, a student, Angelos,
Yes.
oh, come on, where is Toban?
Yes, he asked me too. He asked me. He asked for you. Yes.
They
Yes.
your work.
On the Zoom.
Yeah.
They
Oh.
remember the pink piece, the pink artwork in the background.
I
They
should
asked
have
about
worn.
you.
Fun club.
I should have worn one of those costumes today.
Right?
Go get one
Well,
on.
that's
Yeah, go get one off.
well, that's wonderful to hear. I'm glad. I think the thing about this program with Ask an Artist for me is that these kids, they don't have access to sort of like artists. They may have questions, they may have never thought about it before, but you being there and us being with them gives them this insight into something that they had no idea existed. It's also something that they don't readily see on social media or on the internet unless you really seek it out. So I think what you've given them is this wonderful, wonderful peek into a whole different world, which is something that every kid should experience across the board in any sort of subject, really opening up their worlds. I know the first time I traveled outside of the United States as a teenager, I thought it was incredible. It opened up everything for this tiny kid from a tiny town in Kansas, So I know you're giving them these incredible opportunities that they will think about for the rest of their lives. And that's really due to you being there and just being yourselves and bringing your best selves with them. And that being said, I would love to hear more just about your experiences. By the way, anyone that's in the audience, feel free to put a question in the chat. I'm happy to read those questions and have the artist answer them anytime. We can do a little Q&A as we go, but I also just want to sort of go around the room and hear each of your personal feelings about how the week went, what the standouts were, and then I'd love to look at some of the images that we took of the things they made, which are absolutely incredible. So, Cristina, do you want to start?
Yeah, one of the highlights for me was today on our closing day, we were preparing, half of the team was preparing the art club. I call it the art club. They have now in our classroom. We came in with some materials, and I wish we had access through Amazon so I could send them erasers and sharpeners to amplify their little nook. And so we worked on that, and then the rest of the team worked on doing the exhibition portion of their artwork in preparation for their families. And so I was with some of my students there, and I opened my phone. I can't show you now because I'm recording. And they saw the picture of El Capitan. And some of the students actually do rock climbing here in this region. And when they saw the picture of El Capitan, they're like, El Capitan. And I'm like, yeah, I live so close to Yosemite. And they were super excited about it. And I thought, hey, now you have to come to my home and I need to drive you into Yosemite Valley. And we need to go, you'll climb your rock, I'll do my hike, and then we'll have a burger and some sour gummies. And then, we go about our lives. And then one important thing I should mention, no student of mine, I don't care what age they are, what school, what college, what university I teach at, I don't allow them to have access to my Instagram. They don't have access to my social media. My door is closed. This is a world of my own and my colleagues. And they ask me, can I follow you on Instagram? And I said, yes, because you're my favorites. You have a privilege that nobody else gets in the US.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there's that.
I
That's
just
wonderful.
doubled my Instagram following today.
Yeah, me too. I had so many followers.
I told you they are superstars.
No, they were writing the Instagram accounts, they had notes and they're like, please, can you tell me? And I'm like, yes.
Yanis, one of the Yanis puts we gave him name tags. He put his name, and underneath on another name tag, he put his at so and so for Instagram.
Yeah,
From day
Oh,
one.
from day one.
Yes.
I
They're so
love that.
hungry for
So-
more
Yeah.
images and
Yeah.
more
Interaction.
information
And
and
we
connection
gave
with the
some
larger
demos.
world. I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
that influenced the. Yeah. So, it was amazing to work with the kids. I was a little nervous because I don't speak Greek.
speak.
But I
A few
learned.
words.
I learned a few words. And but yeah, the art making, as we all know in this community, is an international language, and that is a really deep truth and that I came to know even better being in this workshop. And I think my highlight was when we worked with color. And the kids, they know, of course, what the primaries are, secondaries, but to put them to use and mixing the colors and learning something about mixing the colors and showing them some examples, and then working on some large demos that I just left up all the time, and then I could directly bring them and show them, and then they could reference my demo. And you never know when you do a demo if they already know what they're doing. They're just letting out what they already know. And they made some, you'll see the work. It's very expressive. And, we only worked with them. This was the 5th day. And we put the show up this morning, the exhibit. And we're all working just like a team, it was flawless. The work really expressed their characters. Yeah. So when I went in the hall by myself last night, I could feel each individual as they express their own self-portrait in these various ways that are just pretty mind-blowing.
Claire, there is a question. I just want to put it in. Were the students provided the prompts to reflect on beforehand? I think that's a good question at that point.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
The question was, were the students provided the prompts to reflect on beforehand from Betsy?
The prompts, you mean to reflect on in their artwork?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's a very good question, Betsy. So we had a very general assignment for them, which was a life-size self-portrait. And we started with contour drawing in a very general way. Cristina did a demo. Then we had Eleni was demonstrating how to use various textures and to apply them in certain ways. So I demonstrated watercolor and color examples, color mixing. Adrian did printmaking. So we had very general prompts, you could call them.
And we also did the slideshow with.
Oh, yes, we
That's
had
when we started.
before, yeah, excellent. Yeah, do you want to talk about that, Adrian?
Go ahead.
Oh, so we, before we went, we all contributed portrait slides, historical, some contemporary artists, some of our own work, some student work that we had found, or we had from students we worked with previously, and we presented that to them as the introduction. So they had some ideas, and every day we met for what, half an hour before we got started. And then, you know, we each had 6 or 7 kids on our little teams. So we would meet separately, and then we kind of had our own team vibration and synergy there. And then they just started working, and you know, it was just like it just broke loose. Everyone went around and worked with everyone.
Yeah.
That's great. And so did you find that, I think sometimes kids get in their head about things, or somewhere in their past they get told, oh, you're not good at that, and so then that becomes instilled in them, like I can't make art, I don't know what I'm doing. Did you find that any of that was taking place, or were they able to run with it and really get into it and not feel inhibited?
Yes, I didn't feel, we had a little discussion about beauty, the whole group, teachers and everybody. So we threw that around. So I think that dissipated some of that anxiety. And then I think there was a mention too of leaving all the dragons at the door, and that worked. And I didn't feel even, I tell you, even less hesitation than when I teach in the United States. You know, it's
They jumped right in with both
everybody
feet.
just, like Eleni said, it was magic. We were all, you know, wondering like, oh, I wonder how this is going to come together, you know, and it just happened.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
probably, you know, didn't have this approach ever, like working on a large scale, having so many people, you know, around with this kind of knowledge and help. Like you can go next to someone that works and say a word, and then that brings, you know, an idea. Like you say, you maybe, you know, you want to do this or that, or maybe none of that, or maybe that, or think about that. And then, you know, it will all like, oh, I can do all that. Okay, then it started, and I don't know.
Yeah, like Adrian, there's one of the students was interested. Well, he just painted like a fauvist,
Yeah.
you know. So Adrian introduced him to the fauvists.
Right.
You know, oh,
He showed
did
him
you-
after he
Yeah.
finished his
Yeah.
work. And he said, oh, yes, it looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So he
told
made a
him,
connection.
no, this is really good. And his face, he just like he lit up.
yeah,
And then I showed him some of these paintings from 1910, 1915 from the Fauvists. And he said, oh, yeah, I can see it. And we said, yeah, you were onto it. Look at that.
Or the Mycenaean art.
Yeah,
The
that one
garland.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, one girl did this amazing 3/4
Yeah.
profile with long, wavy black hair. And
Like in the vases, in the ancient Greek vases.
Yeah.
No, Mycenaean art.
Mycenaean.
It was
Right.
The
incredible.
frescoes.
Yeah.
And we pulled up the frescoes and showed her.
Yeah.
Here's something
Yeah.
from.
the shapes were just
Yes,
continuous.
Yeah.
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 They did it. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, it was amazing. And for
So
me,
there
what was
you're-
amazing was, you know, we all started out, they laid down on a piece of paper, they put the paper on the wall,
Mm.
and they either traced themselves or a friend traced them. So they just had a blank outline.
Right.
And then we saw the whole thing just explode and
Yeah.
come to life
Yeah,
as
this is
their
the right
personalities filled up these blank outlines.
You
Yeah.
have to show the work.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
I'm excited to see the work. Maria, could we see some of the images, and you guys can respond as we pull them up?
Yes.
There's the school, right?
There's where we
Yeah.
went inside every day. Yeah.
Yes,
Here's where we are
gorgeous.
sitting
That's
now.
This is
amazing.
where we are.
That's
Yes.
outside the school.
There's
There's one of the hallways there, and then we had all the materials set up on those tables.
Where we say
Oh,
that.
wow.
That's
Oh,
us,
there's the
the
whole
team.
group.
There's the gang, yeah.
There's
There's
the
The gang.
the team in process. We have Orestes doing a specific project with watercolors. After Claire introduced watercolors, he was very much invested in learning and exploring. So he went ahead and did that.
Amazing.
We have
So
several
beautiful.
artists, young
So
artists
this
working
is
hard.
this is the beginning of the main project, right? This is where they drew
Yes.
an
Yeah.
outline of themselves and started to fill it in. That's what this is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and they painted them right on the wall, it looks like.
Yep.
Yes.
That's amazing. So they just put it up and went to town.
Yes.
I love it. These are
And we-
gorgeous.
And
That's
we had.
amazing.
She wants to be a
She
doctor.
wants to be a
This is
doctor.
Constantina. She wants to be a doctor, and she did her whole vascular system in a very interesting shape that she made when she laid down on the paper.
But she started with blue and red yarn for the
Right.
Yeah,
different blood vessels.
Like DNA.
like the
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's yarn that makes the sort
Yarn.
of nervous
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
Oh,
we had
wow.
everything: yarn,
Your
paint.
yarn too.
Yeah, we have-
Yeah,
we
from
have to
remainders.
stress that they had a great variety of materials to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had
I
also,
see.
yeah, they had a fabric, paper, the yarn, obviously the paints, oil
All
pastels,
kinds of
watercolors,
that
Sharpies.
they haven't had.
Mhm.
And this guy
Oh.
on the right, the first day he did
No.
Demetrius.
No.
Demetrius.
Oh,
He did the
Okay.
most clever thing. They all had paint trays, and he laid blue tape. He lined his paint tray with blue tape, so at the end of the day, he could just go zip, and it was clean.
And the
That
others,
was great.
the others were washing.
We were jealous
Very
that we hadn't thought of it first.
I know. So it made
Yeah.
it really, really convenient. You know, we could just clean that every day.
Wow.
These were some of my students, one Yanis 1 and Yanis 2.0. That's what I nicknamed him.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Very
And
playful,
it's-
both of them.
It's so interesting to see how they picture themselves. Like, here, one of them is, wearing maybe a swimsuit and red shoes. One looks like he has
Right.
one boot on and one sandal. Is that how you
Well,
interpret these, or
actually-
what would you say?
Toban, the image on the left, it's a floral kind of underwear and it's a sheen. And I told him nobody's gonna pay you for that commercial. So
They don't need the help either.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Just
Yeah.
the abstract qualities of the shapes are incredible, and they're so
Mhm.
inventive.
Yeah.
No one so far has just made sort of a straightforward portrait of themselves.
no.
Yep.
Everyone has
Uh-huh.
really expressed different things about themselves. Like, yeah, look at that. That's amazing. The sort of cut in half, turning yourself
Yeah.
blue. Like it's just incredible.
The
There
amount
was-
of freedom, that they express it was just simply amazing. I did a demonstration on self-portrait and they were very invested in the process, and that's when we started talking about aesthetics and beauty and
Yeah.
symmetry and asymmetry and bodies and proportions and all of that. And some of them did chose to invest more on representing an actual face. But for the most part, we did not impose that on them. We just gave them access to different ideas and methods and processes for them to play with. We were here to play at making art, and we were successful, and they were amazing at creating their images.
Yeah, you
And I
gave
think
them
we
the
did
tools
over-
and empowered them. Sorry, go ahead, Adrian.
Oh, well, no, I'm going to build on what you just said. We gave them tools, but we didn't over-explain the tools.
Yeah.
Like, the fan blender brushes that are fan shaped that you use to blend two colors together. We never said that. And
Mhm.
one girl picked up one of those brushes and she put it in the paint and then she made poppies
Yeah.
Yeah,
all over the
Oh.
place because it was a perfect poppy shape.
Yeah.
And another guy took it and he made branches,
for pine trees.
snow-covered branches on pine trees.
Yeah,
Very
And
cool.
it was, yeah.
yeah.
There was a question from Gail Dunavant who wanted to know, did the kids have more confidence as the week went on?
I would say.
think so.
I would
Yes.
say absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Different kids,
Different, yeah.
and we were just empowering them, like every day. And today we're like, go for it. You can do whatever you want. You can be wherever you like, or, you know, go for it. Just go. And the world, I guess, is we will. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you also were able to sort of, sometimes kids can get stuck, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But you've given them these tools and said, what can you do? What do you want to do? What's in your head? What were those processes like? Did you feel like you had to pull it out of them, or were they really just ready to roll with ideas?
They were ready to
They
roll.
were ready to
Rally.
roll. You could look at what they'd already done and say, hey, that's a great, I like that, where you left the line, stop and go there, or where you made these repeated patterns or this color combinations, and they just go, oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And we started the process on Monday.
Monday.
And the next day, when it was time to start working again, they just went right into it the way we do in our studios. Like, I have a project in process, I need to get to it, get into it, and it was magical the way they just got in front of their projects and grabbed their materials and started to continue to explore and grow their process.
Well, I think that speaks to not just the kids getting excited about the process, but also the inspiration that all of you brought there to really get them going and show them something and teach them something and give them then the freedom to fly on it. I think that is a lot due to you as well as them. So great job.
The other thing I wanted to say is that we created a really warm space.
Exactly.
Like we really made that space to feel like a real studio, right?
Yeah.
Like full of materials, like covered the big tables, things on the wall,
On the floor.
on the floor, like you can walk, you can, you don't care if you get dirty, you just work. Don't think about anything else.
Yeah.
And you're free to do whatever you like. So I think that was a very, very big
Influence.
Yeah. Getting in the zone and then being allowed to stay there
right.
in the
Right.
zone.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was really important,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Eleni, we haven't heard as much from you about your experience in there. You were the one that put all of this together. You're the one that started Ask an Artist. It was your idea. And I think we can all agree that it's now grown into something absolutely amazing. I know this was always a big goal for the project when you began. I'd like to just hear your feelings about how it went and how you're feeling about all of it. I know you said a little bit, but I'd love to hear more about just coming there and all of that sort of stuff. Could you give us a little more insight into your feelings?
First of all, for me, it's very, very, very different because I've been here all my summers in the area, not exactly in this village, but in the area, all the summers of my childhood. So this was very, very, I don't know, emotional for me. I really wanted the project to start here because I knew very well about how hungry they are for the schools. The villages are getting smaller and smaller, not only here, all over the world. And they become just touristic, places for tourists with amazing hotels and blah, blah, and you're hiking. And that's good. It's okay. Of course you will do it. And it's wonderful. But there are people that they are living in these places. And I've known that for a long time. And I know that they don't have access almost to anything. And plus working with and teaching all my life, and researching, I really knew how important it is, art, no matter what you want to be in your life. It doesn't matter if you want to be an artist, really, Aesthetics is not only for artists, it's for all of us to have. And to be able to be more free through that. and for the kids, we are using it just to make a little spark, just for some hope in what we live, which is really, for me, horrible around the world, what we are going through, all of us, us here, I don't know, for our kids, it's really bad. So what happened this week is just such a huge light. And I know it's tiny because we're here in Pramanta and that no one knows probably there and heard. But, I'm so grateful for all of them that came, for all of you guys, when they were asking me how come you collaborated, and because these were the only people that I didn't have to say anything else. We just said, and it happens. We just don't have to say anything else. Each one of us, we
They
speak the
believe in
same
the
language.
project.
We just speak the same
Yeah.
language,
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
I don't
It
have to.
definitely seems like from the first moment you said, Pramanta, want us to come, there was never a no. There was always yeses, always, yes, we want you. Yes, come, please,
Yes.
let's do anything you
Yes.
want. There never seemed like there was anybody saying, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know if it'll work. They were all just like,
Oh,
yes, go.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Well, we have another question. First of all, Thomas, our friend Thomas Houston says, hi, Team SFAA.
Hey, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. Great to see you.
We
He
miss
says
you.
it's super cool. This is the first of hopefully more projects like this. Absolutely agree. There's also a question from Catherine. She wants to know, what is the plan going forward with these students?
Well, first, that's my niece. So, hi, Catherine.
Nice.
We do have a plan going forward. We've started a Google Drive for the school where we can get videos and artist biographies, and we'll just start loading them into this Google Drive so the principal at the school can share them with these kids. I mean, that's the first step going forward.
Yeah.
And we
Go ahead.
we just made a little studio, like we put, they have a small space to go and work.
With running water.
And the
With running
materials
water.
all
And
there.
materials there.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
will
we're
stay
letting lots
there?
of
That's an
arts and
ongoing
artists.
thing?
We're leaving everything right there.
Right.
Wonderful. That is
Yeah.
wonderful. So, and Sophia, would you say, like, is there going to be room moving forward for people to keep doing these sorts of things, for more opportunities for them to make art, maybe bring some more people in? Is this something that will continue for these kids?
Do you mean about the school, the children, or
Yeah.
in general?
Yeah.
The school.
In general
I
and
think-
around the school. Yeah.
I think yes, because they get a lot of inspiration, by the artists these days. So I think that they will continue this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have their own studio right
Their own
now.
space, yeah.
They created a very beautiful workshop over there. So they have a great variety of materials. Oh my God. They didn't have anything before this. So I think that they will experiment with this. And this is the most important thing, to experiment with art, what they will do after this.
Yeah.
First
all
in their
sitting there
houses,
working. This is
and
it.
after in this beautiful studio workshop, and maybe to work together.
Yeah, collaborate.
Yeah.
That was-
Collaboration.
Some of them did collaborate. There were a couple of
Yeah.
guys that were going back and forth working
Yeah.
on each other's
George,
portraits.
George.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Angelina and her friend too were
Yeah.
were
Helping
sharing painting flowers on some of the clothes they made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well,
So they were
so like-
collaborating with each other as well as with you.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably
Yeah.
come up now with their own questions
Yeah.
and their own needs.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Is it possible to show some of the video that we shot or that
I
they
think
shot?
so. I think, Maria, can we
Is there
show
a
some of
video?
that
You want
or
to share the
not?
video, Maria?
Yes,
If
totally. I also
possible.
just wanted to say that we are working on a documentary,
Yeah.
Annie Reiniger, and I have been doing the camera work here.
Amazing
And-
work, by the way. Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that.
And part of that was also that we shot a film with the students, and so I'm gonna try. I'm not in the habit of sharing a lot of videos, so I'm gonna try to share this video now. This was a student made this. Can you all see this?
Καλησπέρα σας κυρίες και κύριοι. Βρισκόμαστε στα Πράματα, στα βόρεια Tzoumerka. Από εδώ είναι τα έργα των μαθητών μας που το καθένα απεικονίζει τα συναισθήματά του και τον τρόπο σκέψης του. Θέλω να ευχαριστήσω τους καλλιτέχνες που έκαναν ένα μεγάλο κόπο και παρευρέθηκαν στο σχολείο μας και μας δίδαξαν ένα καινούριο τρόπο σκέψης και μια καινούρια νοοτροπία. Και όλα αυτά τα υπέροχα έργα έγιναν με την ενθάρρυνση των καθηγητών μας και την υποστήριξη από τη διευθύντριά μας, Ευαγγελία Κίτσι. Και επίσης θέλω να μην ξεχάσουμε να ευχαριστήσουμε το Δήμο Βορείου Tzoumerkon για την απερίγραπτη στήριξη και βοήθεια που μας έδωσε. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Ask an artist. Ρώτα έναν καλλιτέχνη.
That was amazing. That was so cool.
Guy, such a tough guy. Yeah.
And he was so
Toban,
good on camera. He was like
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's because we did another video and he saw the other video. We were fooling around, we were being silly, and then he wanted to do one, and it was his own desire to do it this way. So that's why it was very scripted.
He told I was waiting all day to do this.
Yes. Yeah, he stayed
Well-
he stayed an extra after their day ended to do the video, and
Yeah, he was very shy, but I think we brought him out of his shell.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean,
He's like a documentarian.
But he
I mean,
worked
he was-
tirelessly on his piece.
Yeah.
he's got a future in front of the camera, definitely.
Oh,
he was
yes.
so natural.
They were all telling him, and he was like, oh.
He didn't seem
Liked
shy
it.
at all. And then,
Yeah.
Maria also shared that Sophia had the idea of working on a scientific paper about the project. That sounds
Yeah.
cool. What would that
Yeah.
entail?
We discussed about this with Eleni and Maria this morning. Really, I was thinking about this to write a scientific article all together about all this, because I think that this is a really important.
Yeah.
With bibliography,
Yeah.
each one of us, to share
Perhaps.
the aspect.
Yeah.
Why not? I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you agree, of course.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
a great idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. And it is important for the other artists and the other researchers in art.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Any sort of discussion about the sort of things that are happening here is a great idea across the board. Any way to extend that and make
Yes.
it work into the future, especially writing something like a scientific paper. I would have never thought of that, but it's such a good idea, including giving them a studio, all of these sorts of opportunities for people to learn about not just the project that we're
Yes.
doing,
Yeah,
but about
Yeah,
these
of
kids
course.
and the things that they can
Yeah.
do.
What our experience.
Because it is the first time that happens, so I think that it is really, really important to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's very important. I think one of the things I'd like to know is just sort of like, what are your takeaways from all of this? Like now you're sort of at the end of it. You've had this amazing week. All of the happy feelings are flowing over you. I'm sure that you've each been inspired by what you've seen the past week, and it's going to somehow make its way into your own work. But what are some of your takeaways? If we could just go around and talk about that, maybe start with Adrian.
Oh gosh, it's just so overwhelming. I mean, there's so much. I mean, it was such a two-way street. I feel like we were giving them stuff that we had, and they were giving us stuff in return. And yeah, it's going to take a while for it to all kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
percolate out.
Did you come up with any new ideas while you were there? Did you think, oh, wait, I didn't think about that before? Did anything like that spark in you?
Yeah, probably. But I like I said, it's gonna, there's so much going on in my head right now. It's gonna take a while for me to sort it all out.
Okay, okay, that's fair. Eleni, what about you?
What can I say? Really, I'm taking mostly feelings. I really don't have anything else to say. Feelings that they're, I don't know, so much joy that I am with all of you. I'm here in this part of the world, you know, which means so much to me. It's beautiful, and I hope you can all come, you know, really
Yeah.
someday. And the way that happened, we couldn't ask for more, you know, amazing kids, that they were all wonderful. And I'll have to think about it afterwards when this will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have probably to stare at the ceiling, you know, think about it. And maybe then I would be able to have some words for it.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Claire, what about you?
Yeah, I'm very emotional today, and I was laughing because I kept dragging behind so I could wipe my tears away.
Yeah.
And
I caught you.
I know, and
Aw.
Adrian, I'm a keener, in case anyone didn't know. And yeah, Adrian caught me, and so yeah, there's just I've been thinking the same thing. I don't know what to say. There's just a lot to process, and I need to head back to the desert and you know, sit on a rock for a while. And I know it's going to influence my work in some ways, in probably in many ways. And so
Absolutely.
maybe you can do a follow-up report. You know, you can read our scientific report.
Well, I definitely think there should be a follow-up in a few weeks and just everybody sort of once you've decompressed, talk a little bit about, you know, what you've gleaned from it. But in the meantime, Cristina, you answer the same question.
Of course, you know, I do have a lot of thoughts. You know, I'm gonna say a lot of things. So here's the things that I'm gonna say with for the whole team and for the whole world.
You've only got 10 minutes, Cristina.
Yeah, no, I have less than 10 minutes. I have it. This project starts now, but it doesn't end here. It's super cute that we're gonna stay connected with them through social media because we're so far apart physically. So that's beautiful. I dream of having another Zoom call with them, like a follow-up, possibly another more for like giving them more projects for them to work on independently in their art club, in their art studio, and then collaboratively. And then I'm also gonna make an ask right now for anybody and everybody who's watching, if you have the means and the heart and the love for these students, to send us some extra material so we can bring them and so we can reroute them some way to Pramanta, because we need to make that the studio a little bit more robust. I already wanna send, I mean, we can't Amazon it here. They need erasers and pencil sharpeners in their studio. We could only bring so much. And so I'm asking right now, if you can, and if you want to, and if you're up for it, contact us, because we wanna continue this with them. This is not, and it shouldn't be a one-time thing, because they now live in our hearts and it needs to stop.
Yeah. Oh, and something Thomas had to say, which I think is also a great idea. He said, I like the idea of making an SFAA Ask an Artist workbook for the students to keep and refer back to, because
Great
the
idea.
value
Good
in this
idea,
project is
Thomas.
huge.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's
And,
invited to send in
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
us, you
Yeah.
know, we can work it out, send in different assignments or projects or
well, it's another type of documentation of what you guys did there. You know, we're making the documentary. I think if there was something along with the photos that was like, this is what we did, here's how it went, and just because what you've shown as far as what the students made has been incredible. Like seems beyond what students of that age are capable of making. So clearly you've made a huge impact in their lives, especially artistically, and showing them something they had no idea about, and then giving them these tools to really express themselves. One thing that Maria had to say, which I completely agree, is that all the teaching artists did wonderful demos on different art materials and processes, and it would be wonderful to put those in the form of a workbook. She's agreeing with what Thomas said, and I agree with both of them. So I think that's something to consider moving forward. And also something I'd like to know is are we going to come back? Sophia, do you want us back?
Sorry, I haven't heard you.
Would you like us to come back? I think everyone would like to come back.
Yeah, of course. You know the answer. Of course. I hope so. And I feel really grateful that this project starts from here in situ. To visit. It is very, very important for me because I grew up here. So I really feel the needs here of the children. I would like to offer something to these children that they live here. So it is. I hope that all these days you have felt like Pramadiotes. Locals. Yeah, they are locals.
More than that.
Oh yeah, so I hope my hometown to be a hospitable place for
And it is.
everyone
It is.
around them.
More than that, you don't know what they have done
Oh, yeah.
for us. I'm so grateful because I wanted to say, can you imagine if that it wouldn't be like this? So I'm really grateful to everyone, that hospitality was, this is a tradition. You have to know that.
Yeah.
This is a huge tradition in Greece, hospitality, but especially in Epirus.
In Epirus, yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge tradition, and that's how that's how.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
Mom and dad's
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Tell us what we're seeing.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
The Greek food.
The warmest place with the
Oh
mayor
yeah,
and
with the mayor, the vice
the
mayor,
vice mayor in the mountains.
in
Oh,
the
wow.
cave.
We went to the
Yeah.
caves. We've been
The
taking
cave.
pictures of these mountains every day, and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
in love to them. And apparently, Sophia's going to tell us about the weather because I thought that people came to this place, to Pramanta, to see the snow mountains. And apparently, what's the weather supposed to be like,
Oh yeah.
right?
The weather, do you mean these days?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. It is raining all these days.
Mm-hmm.
not all of
But
them.
No,
not
that's
all.
good.
Okay, today it was a sunny day, okay, in the morning. But it is really important to observe that here you can feel the changing of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it. Okay, we live in Athens, for example, and we cannot understand. Okay, it is
Summer,
winter, it
winter.
is spring. What happens here?
Here is,
Everything is wrong. No. But I would like to share with you that we have a phrase and a very, very famous song about this place, these mountains. Tzoumerka mu perifana. Okay, it means proud mountains.
Yeah.
So I think that this landscape, of course, it is a great inspiration for you, for the artists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the point is that here you really feel free.
Yeah.
That's a free and proud.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to add that of all the places I've been in the world, nothing matches this for physical beauty, but it's also the people. It's impossible to put into words.
So
I mean,
hospitable and kind.
Sophia's
Yeah.
parents cooked us a meal that was bigger than most Thanksgiving dinners. And it was
Yes, but that's normal. for
That's
them.
normal, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
everybody made us feel so
Yeah.
welcome and so at home and so much a part of their families. It's hard to put into words
Yeah.
the
It is.
overwhelming generosity and hospitality that we were welcomed with when we got here.
So yes, we would like to come back.
This
Great.
is
If
the
that happens.
answer.
In a nutshell, yes.
Yes.
I invite you.
And the next time you
Great.
have to come with us,
Again.
Toban.
I would love
You
to
have
come.
to.
I was extremely bummed that I could not come.
Yeah.
It was rough.
The students
Um,
ask about you.
And I think seeing other artists come too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know,
Mm.
from
Yeah.
our community so that they
Yes.
can
Of
We will
course.
see that.
Share what
We're,
they do.
You know,
Yeah.
So
we can't say anything now, but maybe in the future, you know, there will be a place for artists.
We don't know anything, but
We
we
don't
do
know.
know a little bit.
okay,
see.
that sounds like a fun secret.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a silly
Um,
secret because we've given you enough to think about. But yeah, stay
I
tuned
wanna-
if you're interested in this.
Yeah, I want to
Stay
say
tuned.
that.
It
Oh,
will be a
yeah.
surprise.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I want to say that we want to give a huge shout out to Nikos, who is a Greek alum like Eleni,
Yeah.
who drove up all the way from Athens to photograph the exhibition.
Oh,
So thank you,
yeah.
Nikos.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah.
Um, That's a long drive, as I understand,
We
right?
thank him so much.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just came for one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Joyce wanted us to know that she loves the idea of expanding this type of project to other artists through SFAA, maybe
Yeah.
as art pen pals and supporters. I think that's also a great idea.
That's a great idea.
Excellent. Excellent.
Good idea, Doris.
Oh, yeah. And Nikos drove 5.5 hours from Athens for one
Yeah.
day through the difficult mountain roads. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yes.
Through the
That's
rain.
the type
And
of
now he's
dedication.
driving to Thessaloniki.
Mhm.
At this time, he's driving during, dark and
Oh, yeah.
really hard roads here.
northern
He's
Greece.
driving in order to go in northern Greece because he had another, job there, work. He has to work tomorrow.
That is amazing. That's amazing. The work you've all done is absolutely amazing. I think it is absolutely inspirational. I think this is something that a lot of people can take away warm, wonderful feelings. And of course, spread that around and keep that going. We can do this again in Pramanta. We can do it in a lot of places. There are places that need this sort of like input. They need somebody that can
Yes.
come and show them things they don't know. So I think the work you've done is incredible, and thank you so much. One more comment. Thomas said, a document. When I was in high school, my young mind would have been blown by something like this. I had virtually no art classes, and he is so proud of you all. And so am I.
Oh, thanks, Thomas.
Thomas,
Yeah.
your love.
Thank you all the time and the support.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I want to thank everyone for this wonderful conversation. Sophia, thank you for being our local coordinator.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Thank you so much. Cristina,
you.
Claire,
Oh, she's been so great and so hospitable and
Yeah.
taking such good care of us.
Yes,
And
she's been the best.
Thank you. I gained more.
So did we.
so did we.
Yeah.
And
She's
of
one of
course,
ours. She's an
My
SFAA.
family. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
and of course, we want to thank our artists, Cristina, Claire, Adrian, and of course, Eleni, who started all of this off. Thank you so much. What you're doing is just absolutely incredible. Really so proud of you and the work you've done. And that the kids obviously did amazing work themselves. I'm just thrilled about the whole thing.
And Maria Teresa
In
and
the background.
Annie.
Annie.
And
Shout
Maria
out.
and Annie,
Yes.
yes, thank you so much. As always, Maria,
So
who,
much work.
So
So,
much
yes.
yeah.
I mean, and I know that you all are sick, so you've done a great job today. I couldn't even tell. You all seem like you're in perfect health. So
Speak for yourself.
great job.
I'm perfect. What are you talking about? I'm just running out of water here.